Greetings from the lands of the Wasanich on Vancouver Island. Maya Angelou wrote, "Good done anywhere is good done everywhere." Thanks for all of you in the Pacific Rim College learning community for doing such good work for the benefit of our planet, its community of life, and our collective future. I am Delvin Solkinson, an instructor on the Permaculture Design and Resilient Ecosystems Diploma at Pacific Rim College, and this year's Dean. One of my primary teachers, Bill Mollison, the co-originator of permaculture, said, "For the sake of the earth itself, I evolved a philosophy close to Taoism from my experiences with natural systems. Permaculture is a philosophy of working with, rather than against, nature, of protracted and thoughtful observation, rather than protracted and thoughtless action, of looking at systems and people in all their functions, rather than asking only one yield of them, and of allowing systems to demonstrate their own evolutions." What makes permaculture permaculture? The ethics and principles. Observing the ethics or principles in action, or better yet, applying them to decisions or designs, is the practice of permaculture. My teacher, Larry Santoyo, noted, "You don't do permaculture, you use permaculture in what you do." Permaculture is a toolkit of ethics and principles that support and guide decisions. Bill Mollison rightfully considered permaculture design as an ethical design science. The ethics of earth care, people care, and fair share can guide each person to help create a caring culture in their own unique way through the decisions they make. Larry Santoyo described the ethics in action as earth care, to repair and conserve the earth; people care, to seek peace and guard human rights everywhere; fair share, to invest all capital, intelligence, goodwill, and labor to these ends. A fourth transitional ethic was added to help take the judgment of ourselves and others out of the equation. This states that it's okay to use unsustainable means when transitioning into a sustainable system. Permaculture teacher Kimchi describes this as the hero's ethic, since it takes great dedication to start, even in tiny everyday ways, to live a more caring life. Kimchi says by avoiding shoulding on others or ourselves, we can support each other to be better without judging, blaming, or shaming. Modeling our own ethical life may be the best way to help others discover their own way of becoming better. Bill Mollison notes that in life and design, we must accept that immutable rules will not apply, and instead be prepared to be guided on our own continuing exploration by flexible principles and directives. Principles help to apply the ethics. Nature's principles observed in the wild and in the human world could be thought of as top tips or best practices from nature that support effective and ethical action. There are many permaculture principles. You can find them online, in books, or in our freely downloadable Permaculture Design Deck and Permaculture Design Notes, core textbooks for the Permaculture Diploma at Pacific Rim. The most popular principles are from another of my core teachers, David Holmgren, the co-originator of permaculture. Let's look at them briefly here. Observe and interact. Gather detailed observations through direct interaction. Note all elements, energies, and influences throughout the seasons. Engage with the system you are designing directly. Cultivating relationships with all its elements. Catch and store energy. Utilizing natural energy from sources like the sun, wind, or running water, you can hear the stream nearby, is a great way to fuel technology with a lower ecological footprint. Harvesting and storing nature's energy saves money while helping create resilience and relocalization. Obtain a yield. Diverse systems have many yields and byproducts. Harvest, store, and share a sustainable amount of these yields. Each new success builds trust in the process. Permaculture design generates both food and fun, providing a diversity of yields every day of the year. Apply self-regulation and accept feedback. Appropriate limits to growth help prevent over-harvesting or overuse of resources. Learn from positive or negative feedback to identify appropriate actions that will bring more health and effectiveness. Produce less waste. Waste is an unused resource, the output of an ineffective design. Generating and using renewable energy, reducing ecological footprints, and using less plastic supports the health of Earth's ecosystems. Use renewable resources and services. These drive a healthy community, economy, and industry. People power, plant power, and animal power combine with planet power to harness the sun, wind, tides, gravity, providing energy and resources without using things up or damaging the environment. Designed from patterns to details. Everything is made from patterns that repeat. Designed with the larger patterns, contexts, and conditions in mind, addressing core opportunities and challenges, needs, and functions. Fill in the details once you have the larger framework patterns in place. Integrate rather than segregate. Enhance the relationships between elements. Focus on creating a unified working system instead of dividing it up into separate and disconnected parts. The connection between elements are often as important as the elements themselves. Use small and slow solutions. Things done on a small scale and implemented slowly have the lowest impact on the environment. Successes can be replicated and failures designed out of the system. Feedback can be effectively adapted into the ongoing design process before scaling up the system. Use and value diversity. Part of nature's strength comes from diversity. Having many different species, elements, energies, and resources creates resilience by providing a wide variety of functions, products, services, habitats, harvests, and opportunities at different times of year. Use edges and value the marginal. The place where two systems meet includes elements found only at the edge. A diversity of conditions, habitats, and yields exist at edges in the landscape and margins in society. The edge is where the action is. Jeff Lawton says, if you're not living at the edge, you're taking up too much room. Creatively use and respond to change. Flow with the patterns of nature and adapt to the changes that are constantly happening in life. Work with change and remain flexible. Creatively respond and adapt to shifting circumstances. Dynamic stability comes from growth and adaptation. David Holmgren noted that the interpretation of traditional systems of knowledge and the great thinkers of the modern world provide a wealth of ideas that can help us make sense of observation and experience. But unless we get out there and open our eyes and use our hands and our hearts, all the ideas of the world will not save us. Thus, the thinking and design revolution, of which permaculture is a part, only makes sense when it reconnects us to the wonder and mystery of life through practical interaction. Have fun practicing the ethics and principles in your life and discovering the benefit they bring to everything.